the Black Widow of Fairmont Crest, has finally been caught in her own lethal web, and the Dupree women are officially out for blood. Everything just changed, and I am literally shaking as I bring you this explosive breakdown. The walls are rapidly closing in on Hayley Hamilton, and it is a brutal, savage, and absolutely beautiful sight to witness. For months, we have watched this diabolical gold digger slither her way through Bill Hamilton's life, slowly draining him of his vitality, his wealth, and his dignity. But her reign of terror is officially crumbling into dust. The truth is finally out. The receipts have been gathered, and the ultimate reckoning has arrived. This is war. Let us set the stage for this unprecedented clash of titans. It is the Dupree women versus Hayley Hamilton in a battle that will go down in soap opera history. Dani Dupree, along with her fierce and relentless daughters, Chelsea and Naomi, have officially connected the dots. They are no longer just suspicious. They are armed with undeniable, terrifying proof that Hayley is actively trying to murder Bill Hamilton. The sheer magnitude of this betrayal is sending shockwaves through the entire community, and I am here for every single second of this glorious takedown. Let's talk about the absolute sheer audacity of this woman's life. Naomi, who has been dealing with her own devastating health crises lately, has completely unmasked Hayley's most sickening deception yet. We are talking about the fake pregnancy, people. Naomi dropped the absolute bombshell to her mother that Hayley completely fabricated her ultrasound results. There was never a baby. There was no tragic miscarriage. It was all a meticulously crafted theatrical performance designed to manipulate Bill's emotions and secure her financial stronghold over him. Can you even fathom the level of sociopathic behavior required to fake a miscarriage just to keep a wealthy man on the hook? It is beyond savage. It is pure, unadulterated evil. But wait, because the rabbit hole goes so much deeper, and this is where the drama reaches a boiling point. Naomi also revealed her deep suspicions about the mysterious Sammy, the supposedly good-hearted Samaritan who miraculously helped Hayley during her alleged time of need. Naomi's intuition was screaming that this guy was not a good person, and boy, was she right. When Dani heard the name and the description, the pieces of the puzzle violently snapped together in her mind. Dani was absolutely paralyzed with shock before dropping a nuclear truth bomb of her own. Sammy is not some random good guy. Sammy is actually Randy Parker. Yes, you heard me correctly. Randy Parker, the dangerous, calculating henchman who works directly for the ruthless casino boss, Joey Armstrong. Dani laid it all out for her daughters, making it crystal clear that anyone acting as Joey's loyal lapdog is completely incapable of doing anything good or pure. The fact that Hayley is secretly allied with a known criminal enforcer proves that her agenda is steeped in dark, dangerous, and potentially lethal motives. The stakes have never been higher, and Bill is sitting right in the crosshairs of a deadly criminal conspiracy. If you thought the verbal evidence was enough, just wait until you hear what Catherine "Cat" Richardson brought to the table. Cat, who has been dealing with her own intense family drama, swooped in with hard, undeniable digital receipts. She pulled out an app that provided concrete technological evidence exposing Hayley's malicious intent to harm Bill. We are talking about tracked data, undeniable proof of her shady movements and communication. Hayley thought she was a mastermind, but she completely underestimated the tech-savvy brilliance of the younger generation. You cannot delete your digital footprint when the Dupree women are on your trail. And just when you think this woman could not possibly sink any lower, Naomi recounted a story that literally made my blood run cold. This is the moment that proves Hayley is not just a scammer. She's a cold-blooded killer in the making. Naomi tearfully recalled a horrific incident where Bill was violently choking, gasping for air, desperately fighting for his life. And what did Hayley do? She stood there. She watched him choke with cold, dead eyes, completely abandoning him to his. Naomi made it chillingly clear that if she had not been physically present to intervene and save her father, Bill would be in a body bag. How long did Hayley think she could get away with this attempted murder by omission? This chilling revelation opened the floodgates for even more terrifying memories. Naomi pointed out that this was not an isolated incident. She recounted a time she visited Bill at his house and was offered a piece of cake baked by his loving wife. Naomi took one bite and had to violently spit it out because it tasted absolutely horrendous, almost chemical. It wasn't just bad baking. It was toxic. This perfectly aligns with the sinister reality of the new diet Hayley has forced upon Bill. She has been masking her poison as a health kick. Let's look at the medical facts, because the evidence is absolutely damning. Chelsea and Naomi pointed out that ever since Hayley implemented this new, strict dietary regimen, complete with those disgusting green smoothies, Bill's health has rapidly deteriorated. He has been stumbling, experiencing severe hand tremors, and facing inexplicable physical collapses. Dr. Madison Montgomery, a brilliant medical professional, has already noted highly abnormal results in Bill's blood tests that directly correlate with his dietary intake. The writing is on the wall in neon red letters. Hayley isn't trying to improve Bill's health. She is slowly, methodically poisoning him to death. Chelsea and Naomi have brilliantly deduced that Bill does not need to adjust to this new lifestyle. He needs to immediately stop consuming anything that woman hands him. The realization that their father is being systematically poisoned by his own wife has ignited a fiery, protective rage within the Dupree women. They are terrified for his life, but that terror has rapidly transformed into a fierce, unstoppable determination to save him. Dani, despite all the complicated history and guilt surrounding her recent elevator hookup with Bill, is fully throwing her weight behind her daughters. She is backing them up 100%. The matriarch has awakened, and she is ready to go to war. Now, let's contrast the agonizing worry of Bill's family with the absolute sociopathic nonchalance of his wife. While Bill was literally lying in a hospital bed, fighting off the effects of her toxic cocktail, what was Hayley doing? She was at the spa. Yes, you heard me. This venomous black widow was getting pampered, probably enjoying a cucumber mask and a deep tissue massage, while her husband was hooked up to medical monitors. The sheer disrespect and lack of basic human empathy are staggering. This was the final nail in the coffin for Naomi and Chelsea. The conclusion was undeniable. Hayley wants Bill dead, and she doesn't even care enough to fake her concern anymore. This brings us to the most explosive, heart-pounding climax of the entire week. Armed with fake ultrasound revelations, criminal connections, digital app evidence, and medical abnormalities, Naomi and Chelsea led the charge straight to Bill's house. They did not come for a polite family chat. They came for a hostile takeover. They stormed the gates and confronted Hayley directly in her own living room. This was not just a squabble between stepdaughters and a stepmother. This was a brutal, high-stakes battle for a man's life. Imagine the sheer electricity in that room. Naomi and Chelsea verbally eviscerated Hayley, laying out every single piece of ironclad evidence they had gathered. They threw the fake pregnancy in her face. They exposed Sammy as Randy Parker. They brought up the choking incident, the toxic cake, the poison smoothies, and the abnormal blood work. They backed her into a corner with the precision of seasoned prosecutors. Hayley was trapped, her carefully constructed web of lies tearing apart at the seams. She tried to deflect. She tried to play the victim, but the Dupree women were relentless. But the absolute most shocking, satisfying moment of this entire confrontation, Bill's reaction. For months, Bill has been blinded by Hayley's manipulation, defending her against his own family, completely mesmerized by her deceitful. But as his daughters laid out the undeniable, horrifying truth of his slow-motion murder, the veil finally lifted. Bill did not say a word to defend Hayley. The silence from him was deafening, and it was the most powerful statement he could have made. He just stood there, processing the terrifying reality that the woman sharing his bed has been actively trying to put him in a grave. Hayley's reaction to Bill's silence was pure, unadulterated panic. You could see the realization wash over her face. She has lost control. Her primary weapon, Bill's blind loyalty, has been completely neutralized. She is now standing alone, entirely defenseless against a family that wants her destroyed. Hayley has been pushed to the absolute brink. Her grand master plan to collect a massive life insurance payout is crumbling into dust right before her very eyes. She is cornered, she is exposed, and she is incredibly dangerous. What will a desperate, cornered Black Widow do when she realizes she has been caught? Will she try to flee Fairmont Crest with Randy Parker? Will she make one final fatal attempt on Bill's life before the police can intervene? And how will Joey Armstrong react when he finds out his henchman has been dragged into this messy, high-profile attempted murder plot? The fallout from this confrontation is going to be absolutely astronomical, and nobody in this town is going to walk away unscathed. Do not miss what happens next. The upcoming episodes are guaranteed to be pure explosive television gold. Will Bill finally press charges and send his wicked wife to prison? Will Dani and Bill's shared trauma reignite their past romance, or will Andre discover their secret elevator affair amidst all this? Drop your wildest theories in the comments below. Do you think Hayley has a backup plan, or is she finally going to pay for her crimes? Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you never miss a single update on the explosive drama at Fairmont Crest